Nah.
Someone is typing.
Don't attack me.
So,
Don't attack me.
alright, okay. Hi, YouTube! So if you guys are watching this in the future, this is my Patreon hangout for June, because this month has tried to kill me emotionally. So, that's why we're doing it on the second to last day of the month. And with you today, so far, people are probably going to pop in later, we have Or Arts and his girlfriend, who is also a patron, Angel. And then we have Masuda, aka Christian. We have
just made that sound.
Yes. We have Gun Moon, because I have no idea how to pronounce your real name, and I don't know if you want me to say it. So we got Mooney. And then we have the Peeth, who is being a creeper and playing games while talking to us.
I'm just typing stuff. I'm not playing a game.
I am also playing games.
So, how have you guys been this month?
I want to kill myself.
Oh, okay. Alright, that's a way to fucking start it. Thanks, Or.
Very cheery beginning to this.
Yep, thanks! Bye, monetization.
Are you proud of yourself?
Yes.
Oh, my lord. So, I'm sorry that you guys are stressed in the chat, but so I got a couple things to talk about. I'm not gonna go into my personal life because, but so
That's a thing.
I actually have topics for once that we can talk about.
Oh boy.
And if you hear random shit in the background, Cody's listening to the Adventure Zone on his phone with his headset on. So if you hear him randomly laugh or something, that's why. But anyway, so first topic, because it's what I've been doing recently. If you follow me on the website that rhymes with itch, because I can't say that word, because if I do, the stupid YouTube algorithm will not show my video to people who are subscribed to me. Which is also why, if you want to follow me on the website that rhymes with itch, click my link tree in the description. But I stream there. I'm trying to do more streaming there. But anyway, I recently got Bloodstained, and I was super excited for this game because it's by the guy who made Symphony of the Night and my favorite Castlevania games that I grew up on the DS and the 3DS. And I remember when they were like, oh yeah, we're making a, like, old school Castlevania side-scroller inspired game. And they kickstarted it about, like, 4 or so years ago. And I kickstarted it. I didn't put a lot towards it because I didn't have the money at the time, but I did help kickstart it. I was one of the tiny beans. And I was super ready. And they kept delaying it, and kept delaying it, and kept delaying it, and kept delaying it. And me and a lot of other people were like, this game's never gonna happen. And the reason why is because now before anybody gets down my throat, I know that indie games are expensive, and it's not the same as big corporations, I know. But I know that in, like, the first day they hit $1 million, and they made a lot more than that. Like, actually, I'm on the computer. What am I doing? How much did the Bloodstained Kickstarter make? Because I want to get the actual number right. Let's see. How much did it actually make? Oh, does it not tell me? Oh, here we go. It made $5,500,000.
Jesus.
Yeah, with 64,000 backers, way past the original goal. And now, myself and a few other people were really excited when last year they were like, hey, we made so much money off of our Kickstarter, here's a really old school 8-bit, or maybe it was 16-bit, I always get them confused, the teeny tiny pixel game that was supposed to be like a prequel to the final one for like $10. And I bought the fuck out of it, and so did a lot of other people, and I streamed that, and I played it, and I loved it. I thought it was great, and I remember being like, wow, this is what you do. It's kind of like the whole Hollow Knight thing, where it's like, yeah, we made so much money that, you know what we're gonna do? Oh, hey, Vampire Neko Witch, I know you're a patron. If you go to the Discord chat, the link for the chat's there, because you also get in on this. Unless you want to creep, that's fine too, but I know that specific username.
Join us.
Because I know you're one of the higher creeper patrons of the Discord chat, which is fine because I'm pretty much a creeper too. Anyway, back to my tangent. So, super excited, everything was great, but then they kept delaying the final game. And then I got even more hyped when the director, they even made this like trailer with the guy in this, the guy who like was the director of it, in this like really fancy chair and being like, we know we took a long time, so we moved it to the Unreal Engine and we updated all the graphics and did all of this. And I was like, oh, that's great. This is wonderful. And then I start playing it. And I love the gameplay. But oh my god, this game needs a patch. Like a hardcore patch. Because there are so many things that they give you no hints for. Perfect example, when I did my stream, not yesterday, but the day before that, I had to look up how to get a train pass because they gave you no hint whatsoever on how to get here. It was like, when you find the train area, it was one of those, Armani, yeah, I'm talking about Bloodstained. And so it's like, I was playing and looking around for over 2 hours before I streamed. And I was getting frustrated because I'm like, I can't do anything else until I fight a boss and get a new power. Because in the old school Metroidvania games, I don't know so much about like I call it Metroidvania because that's the type of gameplay it is, but I haven't really played a Metroid game. I have one for the 3DS and I still haven't beat it. Cough. But I know with the old school Castlevania games, whenever you beat a boss, you got a new power that was like a permanent power that would help you progress the game. And so I remember being like, okay, what am I doing wrong here? I've been looking for over 2 hours. I cannot find it. And so I looked it up and I found some other game breaking stuff compared to the train stop thing. First of all, I guess one, because again, and I keep comparing it to Castlevania games, because that's what it is. This is a Castlevania game to a T, to where they even, this guy is an Alucard reskin, and you can fight me. Let me find him real quick. He is full on, and he's a vampire, and I'm like, this is an Alucard reskin from Symphony of the Night. They just gave him black hair.
It's Castlevania in all but name.
Oh, pretty much, yeah, exactly. Like, where is he? Here he is! Here he is! Okay, I'm putting him in the Discord, but I will show him in the, Oh, no, I need to go to the chit one. Where's the voice call chat? There it is. So, this is what the guy looks like. Oh, fuck, no, I didn't want to send this to Google. What? Ah, no! Hello? Oh, shit. I just exited out of the call. Wow, I'm dumb. Hello?
Oh, I see what you mean.
Hello? I killed it. I killed it, guys. Sorry, but yeah, this is the guy. And when I first saw him, I'm like, "Hi, Alucard. How you doing?" But he's not Alucard because he's got black hair. So he's totally not Alucard. Anyway,
Yeah, totally.
no, not at all. So anyway, when I first found him, he was like, "Oh yeah, this is a library and you can borrow books." That's literally all he said. And then I borrowed a book which gave you a stat buff, which was that is a cool feature. That was all he said. That was it. So then I got the book, I went through, I found one boss fight, and then I was able to unlock a chest doing this boss fight. And so what ended up happening was I beat the boss fight, I went back to buy some supplies, and then this lady was like, "Oh, we can take your picture." Like a ooh, haha, funny thing. Like just a little Easter egg thing. And I was like, okay, whatever. So I took the picture. I am now grinding for 2 hours and getting pissed and not knowing where to go. So I randomly went back to, I was looking through the thing, and it was like, oh yeah, even though in the game, it no way told you to go back to the library to talk to knockoff Alucard, because he will then give you a way to get to the train station. So I went back up there, and he was like, oh, because you have this photo, I can now give you a ticket to the train station. I'm like, You never said in our first conversation that you had a ticket to the train station.
I hate games like that because the whole point is that they want to make you play more by not telling you anything. Like, oh yes, it'll be a longer game if you don't know what you're doing.
But and like I understand that, but you have to give us some sort of a hint. When it is that vague. That is the fucking cutscene. I forgot about that. Okay, so when I got to the train station, all of a sudden this other character showed up, and out of nowhere there was a cutscene, and a really bad cutscene. Like it threw me off guard and everyone else in the stream because those games are not known for cutscenes unless it's like the opening cinematic and the castle being destroyed usually. And so it was like, and you might get a cutscene after you beat a boss, but they're like a side-scroller cutscene, so it's never like, I mean, it's fine, whatever, they're not a big deal. But it was out of nowhere. It's like, by the way, I'm a big racist, and I hate you, Miriam. Oh, but I need you? Okay, I'm gonna freaking get my chain slingshot ninja weapon, hook it onto this train, do the sexual wrap around you, and we're gonna yeet onto this train. And I was like, what? Yeah. I was so thrown off, and so was my live stream chat. We were like, what just happened? What is happening? And then suddenly I'm on a train, and now I'm on a time limit boss fight, where it's like 5 minutes, and I have to get to the train, and I'm sitting here like, what the fuck is this? A time limit out of nowhere? I can't even explore the train like I want to, so I had to run to the other end, get to the boss fight, defeat the boss. I mean, I did it in one shot, so it was fine. But I remember being like, I kind of want to look at the train and explore and, you know, kill these random ninjas that are on the train, because there's just random ninjas, because, you know. And so...
favorite enemy, the random ninjas.
Yeah, so, yeah, that happened. And then I beat the boss. I didn't get anything from that boss fight, which was really annoying. And then I remember being like, okay, cool. And then all of a sudden, this other character showed up out of nowhere. And I'm sitting here like, that character's gonna be evil. Like, it hasn't shown it yet, but it's like, you're the cute little innocent nun with the long white anime hair and the sexy voice, because, you know, that's how nuns are. That's just how they are. And she just showed up in this area, and I'm like, you gotta be a witch or something evil. Like, there's no reason for you to be here. Because she's literally there to say, have you seen Zangetsu? No? Okay, bye. And I was like, wait, why were you here? This game took 4 years to develop. And there's this shit in the game. I'm only being nitpicky because it took them 4 years, and they boosted themselves up that, like, we did all this to the game to fix it, and we did all this great stuff. Like, oh, another one. I haven't gotten here yet, but I guess to be able to breathe underwater, which is something you need to explore more of the map, you have to grind for this important power, because you have to randomly kill random enemies to get their powers. And I remember being like, no game. That's not how that works. Yes, you are subverting my expectations, but not in the right way. You get powers you need through boss fights. That's how they've always been. You beat a boss, you get double jump. You beat a boss, you turn into a light beam. You beat a boss, you fly. You beat a boss, you breathe air. Not, okay, randomly farm for a random encounter that you have no... Again, they never tell you in the game how to get this power, but it's like, you want to explore the rest of the map to be able to finish the story? You better grind. And just assume you figure it out. Also, hi, Vampire Neko. I know this is your first time here. Enjoy my screaming. Hi. How are you doing? Everyone say hi. Good. Yeah, everyone say hi to a new bean. Cause I don't I don't think you were in the chat last month, right? I know you were already a patron,
no,
but I don't think you can make it.
And then when I saw your link, I was like, oh, I overslept for it.
Oh no.
Yeah, I worked late and I didn't realize I overslept until like the last minute.
Well, it's okay. Yeah. Like I said, I am just thoroughly convinced this month is cursed for a lot of people I know. So.
Let's hope next month isn't, because that's my birthday. So.
Oh well, happy late birthday!
Thank you.
Wait, guys, we have to sing happy birthday. Cody,
No.
No, we're not. No, Cody, you have to come over here and you have to say her username. Oh, I'm sorry. Are you a her? I didn't want to assume.
Yeah, I'm a her.
Okay, I don't want to be rude if it was wrong.
Identify as the internet as a whole.
Okay, so we all have to sing happy birthday to Vampire Neko Witch, right?
Vampire Neko
Okay, are you ready? Alright, okay, here we go. Ready? Okay. 3, 2, 1.
6.
Asshole. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Gothic Neko Kitten. Or no, Gothic Neko Witch. Fuck. Happy birthday to you. Yay!
Thanks.
No, we can't. We can't. The webcam doesn't work with Google Chrome for some reason.
Is that the one that I did the...
I know.
Get his beans.
I know.
Electric
The
card for?
boy has the toe beans. Oh, his nails. Clip his nail. It's broken.
And she gave you the link.
Ah.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
No, nice and clean.
You're still warm though.
I'm always warm.
We should get more ice packs.
Can they hear us?
Yeah. I hope you guys do well with your ice packs.
Yeah, sorry, me and my fiance have to share a bedroom right now.
I mean, wait. Isn't that a good thing? Wouldn't you want to share a bedroom with your fiance?
No, fuck
Wait,
that guy.
wait, what?
We can't like go anywhere else.
No, I understand. It's just like me and my fiance have to share a bedroom right now. It's like, wait, what?
It's like, yeah, fuck,
So when you get
fuck your audacity for wanting to sleep with me.
No, I totally get it, because Cody and I were in that situation. I understand, just the way you said it was funny.
I
You mean I actually have to want to sleep with my partner?
He
Fuck
even gave
that.
me a look like, what the fuck?
I mean, Michelle has Velociraptor freezing
You
toes
know
of
what I
doom.
mean, though.
So I mean,
You're the one who said it was too hot today. You
that's
were
because you're too cold in the fucking winter, and you're too hot in the summer.
Yes, I am fat. We have been
You
over
should pick a
this.
fucking temperature.
I can't. My feet and my hands lose feeling first,
Well,
and then
you should figure that shit out before you get in bed. Find them, feel them, figure that shit out.
what is this?
What is love?
Oh, why do you, Itchy? Why do you do this to me when I have no money? I know we haven't done it this time, but I'm bringing it up into it. So Star Dragons, they just updated some that are for sale, and I'm like, I don't have that kind of money, but I like this one in the middle. I like him a lot.
If you buy a Star Dragon, I swear I will slap you.
I can't. This is expensive even for me. It's $100 for this
You are
one.
not-
Damn.
We
Yeah.
don't need it. We need to pay shit.
No, I'm not buying it.
We
I'm
don't
saying.
need it.
I'm saying if I had the money, I would, but I don't. So
Then you buy it
Yeah, I'll
twice.
get you water.
it's exactly no, I can't. That's why I'm not buying it.
Look at
I have bills to pay.
Michelle.
What?
For one squeak a day, he will love you.
Oh, okay. I guess I should say this too. A lot of people get really mad with how expensive Star Dragons are. Like, I have seen a lot of people be like, "That's dumb. I'll just make my own. Who can? Like, no one can stop me." And I'm like, "Yeah, you're right. You're still kind of an asshole for doing it." Also, no one is making these people charge that much, but people pay it. So it's one of the that really is a story of supply.
Marketing.
That's called supply and demand, because like
Yeah, but I never heard of Star Dragon until like recently, so I had no clue.
they're like trading cards. If I can say it any other way, they're like trading cards that you can do stuff with.
Huh.
You mean like magic?
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Star Dragons are my magic. I mean, I play magic too, but I'm not like Or. How much money do you have in decks again, Or? Just to
I
tell.
have like $3,000 in magic cards.
Yeah, I know, but she thinks she's talking about Magic the Gathering.
Yes, exactly.
Didn't
It's
we both play that years ago?
Yeah, I still have my cards.
oh, more magic people.
Oh, I have a card.
Yeah.
Or got so
Yeah,
excited
yeah.
that gasp. More.
The more the better. Speaking of which, Mitchie, I still need to send you the Egger Markov.
Get out of the red first.
I already own Egger Markov.
My fifis. Okay, next topic. Next topic. Unless you guys want to keep going on. Like, if you guys want to talk about, I don't know. I mean, I ranted on about it. But I don't know if anybody else ever had, like, an indie game they were super excited about. And their expectation. I still love the game. And I'm still going to play it. It's just, I'm critical of it because they hyped it up this much. I think if they were just like, yeah, here's the money, here's the game, I wouldn't have been as pissed as them being like, we listened to the fans, we took all this time to do this, and I'm like, boy. But has an indie game ever let you guys down, or the hype was just not what you thought it was, or something?
I don't think so.
Not. Kind of.
Okay, well, Pyth, explain.
We all know, like, Yandere Simulator.
Oh.
Oh, I know what that is.
Oh, no, what happened with it?
It's
Nothing really happened with it. It's just, like, been
the
taking, like,
creators
a really long
basically
time to
just
start.
putting everything off.
Yeah.
Wait, is it still not done? I thought it was a done
No.
game.
No, it's still in like
Still developing.
the creator doesn't know how to
not a
Kickstarter
Haven't implemented yet.
Okay, see that? Okay, right there. That can go into a topic. So, I blame, and this is gonna sound, I have to word my words very carefully because this can be easily taken very much out of context. But this is why I do not believe that really big gaming YouTubers should play betas. Because
I agree.
Because the same thing happened with it wasn't Monstrum, but there was some like horror game that was in development and they had like half of the game, and I remember like PewDiePie played it, and this was years ago, but a lot of the big guys, PewDiePie, Markiplier, what was his face? I think the Rad Brad, but I know they all played it, and then people, because those big YouTubers played it, people bought the beta, and then the creator literally like vanished. So he full on like took the money and vanished. Because technically he didn't have to finish the game. He didn't Kickstarter, he didn't do this or that. And it's one of those things that's like really shitty, but at the same time no one enforces them to finish the stuff like that, so.
I still consider that fraud, though, in a way.
Oh, I do too. I totally do.
Take the money and run, like.
Yeah, it's fraud.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like you're not gonna be able to sue him, especially when it's one of those things where it's like, because I talked to my lawyer friend about this, and my friend's like, you're not gonna win a case unless it's like at least $10,000 you got screwed out of. If you were out even like $500, the lawyer's fees alone to sue somebody are not worth it.
Oof.
Wow.
Damn.
Like,
That's
the thing
really
with this
horrible.
Yandere Simulator is that, like, the guy has a Patreon.
Oh,
He made so much money with that Patreon.
I'm pretty sure it's just wanting the Patreon to go on forever instead of making the game. Because if you see all the updates, it's just implementing stupid stuff that doesn't really make the game better.
yeah. Oh God, Cody,
Do
Come
we
here.
want to talk about how bad the frame rate is?
come here.
Wasn't Yandere Simulator supposed to be like a story-based game?
Alright.
It is.
Guys,
I-
Cody's gonna
I think it is.
Cody.
It's like,
Guys, Cody's gonna entertain you real quick because I have to really.
Oh,
Get back.
yay!
Hello,
Kitty, get down.
Ron,
Here's the chat. There's that.
Hi, Cody. Also, I have no idea what we were talking about because my internet is being a butt.
Yandere Simulator.
What kind of butt are we talking?
That problem.
The not very nice kind. The one
Well-
that likes to
Are we like on a scale of 1 to 10?
cut me out whenever.
Kitty.
We're talking about titty butts.
Probably a. Well, if if that scale is on how not good it is, it's probably an 8, all things considered.
Right.
Would you say it's asinine?
God
Probably.
damn it.
That was a pun on 2 levels. Anyway.
Hello, Cody. How are you?
Hello. Who's that?
That is Or.
Hello, Or.
Hello.
Hey, Or, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Have you been out on a canoe lately?
Listen here. I get enough of this type of stuff from my other friends. I don't need it from you as well.
You have come
now
into
I'm
my
curious.
domain.
That's why I'm laughing.
I'm going to eat myself out the window and carve
I'm-
my lungs out with the broken glass.
Sorry, love. Did you say yeet or eat?
I got a question for you.
Oh,
What?
okay.
You've heard of a Sasquatch burger, right?
No, I haven't.
Not
It's
until now.
basically, 6 pounds of
Holy
ground hamburger
shit.
meat into a giant burger. It's in New York. It's actually called the place you get it is called the Sasquatch Grill. If you finish a Sasquatch burger in under 2 hours, you have 2 hours to finish it. If you finish the entire thing, you get a shirt and you go up on the House Wall of Fame, and you're
And you also go into cardiac arrest.
Yeah,
I can't do
exactly.
that shit.
It's like
That's
it's like
better
a
than
giant
doing
heart
it all
attack.
Ow! Shit! You little
I am like, at least give me some money with that prize,
Binks.
so I can pay for surgery. I mean, damn.
Yeah, because you're gonna have to give a.
You have a giant appetite. You can go to a buffet and eat out easily. You know that.
Okay, just because I eat like a man doesn't mean I can finish that.
Yeah.
That could probably kill it.
I got $50 says you'll take it down.
In 2 hours, though.
Yes. Yes.
Really, you think I can take that thing down in 2 hours?
Yes.
Oh man.
Oh no, it's cursed.
Oh, it's the zombie spider.
Don't attack me.
Boink, boink. Ah.
So Cody, you got any interesting stories for us?
Oh, do I? So my last class this whole week,
Pizza, burger, or I can make stencil sometimes.
I've basically been on a split, meaning I go to work at like
I did not eat too much in the summer.
Well, you know.
6 a.m. and go home at noon, and then I go back to work at 6 p.m. and go home at midnight.
Jesus.
Yeah, it sucked balls. Yeah, but on the upside, I have the evening class, which is now done. But one of the students in there, well, multiple of the students are total fucking nerds, and they were like, "Hey, Marcus, do you like, Magic the Gathering and all this other anime shit?" And we got on this like huge tangent
With your students.
with my students, and I'm like, "Fuck, I'm letting all the cats out of the bag. I'm truly a huge nerd." And the chick that was. The chick that was in the class, she's like, "Oh no, we gathered that," and I'm like, "How the fuck? How did you gather that?" Like immediately, apparently they caught me like, "Nope, nerd."
Can you click shit? That's fine.
And so then at the end of the day, last night, I finished all my grading, got everything done, and then they're like, "You want to play Magic?" And I'm like, "I don't know. You want to get fucked?" And then and they're like, "What?" And I'm like, "All right, let's play." And so I raffle stomped their ass with a deck I didn't even make. And they're like, "Oh, yeah, no, because she gave me a green elf deck, and like my entire life of Magic the Gathering is making a ramp deck that just goes, I'm gonna sit here like Switzerland until I have a monster that's gonna just kill you in one shot."
Yep.
And-
or like my brother Brandon, who he was so happy when he's like, "Slivers are back."
Yeah, and then so
God.
she made a Merfolk deck.
Do you want pancakes and waffles or sugar cookies for snow?
Sugar cookies. Anyway, so the chick made a Merfolk deck that had Island Step and all this stuff that allows you to like basically fuck over everyone, and she gives you like a thing that transforms one of your lands into an island, and then she's unblockable to you. So it's a whole bullshit thing. Anyway, so she like is this, that, and the other. And there's this other noob kid who has never played Magic before, and he's just getting the shit kicked out of him. And so we had like 4 or 5 minutes before I had to actually go back to doing my job. And so she's got like 4 health. I had like 15 creatures out. And the other dude has like 20 health. And I was like, all right. I swing out and I killed both of them in one fucking move. And they're like, what the fuck? And one of the guys is like, oh, one of mine's flying. And I played an instant, which gave one of my fucking... one of my creatures of my choosing,
Scissors.
Death Touch and Reach, and I'm like, no, you don't. Fuck you. and she was like, you're an asshole. I'm like, yeah, don't fuck with me and elves. It was fucking great. And I'm like, and that's game, and now I have to go back to being your teacher. So yeah, fun. It was good time. And yeah, have a good GG. Now sign out and have a good evening.
Fucking beautiful.
I cut the wick and it turned into another wick.
Honey, here's your people's back.
Okay. You have to make sure I don't burn the apartment down.
Please don't burn my apartment and your apartment and all of the apartments.
Yeah. Okay.
No.
Ow! Don't smack my booty.
But it's so cutie.
But we might be going to California if I get everything straightened out anyway.
Which part of California? I'm not being.
We're going to that con. I can't remember the con. But
There-
I know it's in California.
There are many conventions. I don't.
I think you're the one going to it though. It's 2021 thing.
Oh, Anime Impulse?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one I'm working at. That one's in like January.
That reminds
We're
me.
working towards going there.
Well, hey, if you do go there, I can make you something and give it to you in person because it'll save me money on shipping and you're there.
I am also reminded.
I've never been to a con before.
I have.
It's
I
fun.
have just
Oh,
recently.
It's
Oh.
so much fun.
oh wait, real quick. What, Christian? What'd you say?
I am reminded we still haven't set any plans for our own.
I told you.
again.
Have you been saving? I told you gotta save for it.
I have been saving, but then car happened.
Right, the car thing happened. Hold on, wait, what? What?
Are your friends asking monetary advice? I can help with that.
Do you guys want money advice by Car Daddy?
Yes.
Okay.
I think Aura needs it.
All right, come here. I'm gonna have to hopefully the echo won't be too bad because I want to hear you guys' reaction to this. So I'm gonna unplug my headset. Hopefully the echo is not that bad for Car Daddy's financial advice.
Never invest in cars.
Is that it?
No, that's not it. But it doesn't help.
You gotta get closer to the mic because I have a Blue
I
Yeti.
project. I'm watching the mic. I can hear myself. They can also hear me.
Someone is breathing very heavily.
That would probably be Christian.
I
That was a wild guess, only because I knew it would make you have that reaction.
Am I not hearing myself read?
Am I not hearing myself? Anyway, go with the advice.
So, here's what you do, okay? Take whatever check you're getting. Before you even put that bitch in the bank, take 10%, put it in savings. That starts off, no matter how you do it, you'll always have some money going away. And then, continue on doing your thing. Now, I don't know what y'all have for monetary issues, but that 10% rule, if you do it before you actually get... You're basically, don't think of it as putting away in savings, right? Think of it as paying yourself, okay? Because your income is, going to bills and things like that. It's for paying for everyone else, but you should pay yourself first. So pay yourself with savings first. It'll always help you out. Even if it's $100, put 10 of it away. And if you can afford it, and you have the ability with your, whatever company you might be working for, start a 401k. That shit is awesome. Start on, light stuff like bonds and things like that. That is disturbing, Michelle. Why did you show me that?
Thanks, I just found it.
I don't need to see it again. Thomas the Train, Mick, whatever the fuck demon that was, can go away. Yeah, so what, who was talking about money? Boy.
Well, they were talking about traveling and stuff and
Oh. Okay.
and going to cons.
Well, who?
All of them.
Well, what are they doing?
I know that Vampire Neko said that she's probably coming out in 2020. So we might actually get to meet that one if you work the table with me.
I mean, I will work a table.
It's on the weekend, so you
I'll work
might
a
be
fucking
able to.
pool, I don't care.
That's the only downside because I really wanted to table share with Anna Aerofex, but this convention full on said you cannot table share with another artist. You can't split tables, so you have to have a table buddy if you want to have anybody else. Which does it sucks, but I kind of get it because what'll happen is they will some people will claim that let me plug this back in that what will happen is I love you. Yay. What they would end up doing is they'll one artist will get the table and then they'll pay the artist under the table, but then the one who didn't have to get it doesn't usually have tax forms, so it's I'll just claim my work for you and sell my stuff and not put it on my taxes, and they'll bounce off of it. So a couple more cons have been doing that, where it's like, you can have a table buddy, but not split by artists, because the actual smaller convention, because I know Anime Impulse is a smaller convention. Like, I think it's just a weekend. Not bad, it's smaller, because there's, like, the big cons that are, like, anywhere between 3 and 4 days, which I think San Japan is 4 days? Or is it 3? I know it's at least 3, but it might be 4. And I know AX is always 4 days, and those are really, really big conventions. But again, if you do come out here, that would be neat. And we can, like, take pictures and stuff. I have made sure to, like, update my Polaroid, so... Because, you know, I'm a hipster. So that way, like, if people who know who I am, I'm like, we can take Polaroid pictures together so I can have a physical picture of this. Because I think it's neat. I think it's neat meeting fans. And just meeting online people in general. It's like...
Oh, hey, babe.
Yeah?
Is Tosh on there?
No, Tosh is in the patron.
Okay.
I know.
No.
Oh no!
But I'm just saying, like,
Calm down.
one thing you should ask your crew members on Patreon there,
Yeah?
if they wanted, do they want a small trinket? I can make small trinkets. I'm thinking about doing some welding soon. If I could make them small trinkets, would they want them? For, like, some cars, made of car stuff.
I mean, I'm sure they would, but you gotta think of shipping, because mailing car stuff is really expensive.
No, like the little ducks.
That's gonna be really expensive. It's heavy. It's not bad, but I'm telling you right now, when I would have to mail Sky...
How many Patreons do you have?
I have like 30, but no, I don't. Those aren't the expensive tiers. I think I just have 30, like 30ish in general. Okay. But for the Magic Beans, I have 10 slots, I think, and then I know for the Coffee Bloods, which I need to do that icon, because that icon idea that you and Angel had was great. So I need to like do that. For the Coffee Bloods, I believe I think I have 5 for that. So that's 15. I only had to pause mailing out the physical rewards because of money and time. And I did find a way to fix that, though, so I need to just get a backlog of stuff, and then I'll be able to start mailing stuff out again. Because, yeah, I am going to do that again. I need to do a backlog of stuff, and the same goes for the stickers, because we don't have a printer that works. And so, Anna told me, like, she's like, you know what you should do? You should make, like, 6 months worth of stickers in advance, and then you're good. And I was like, fuck, that's a really good idea. So at least for the stickers, I've been doing that. And then for the traditional stuff, I'm not going to be able to do traditional stuff for the rest of this year, but I should be able to do it again in January, where I'm actually, like, mailing out the traditional rewards. So you guys are still getting your commissions, though. Like, that's what I'm planning to do today, once I'm done with this, is just die. But, I haven't forgotten. I just, like I said, this month has been terrible. But anyway, what I was...
Speaking of shipping,
Yeah.
you know that you can do low flat rate packages, right?
Not to out of country.
Well, out of country is always going to be expensive. How many of your patrons are out of country?
I know Sky is, and Sky's one of the big ones.
Well, I would pay for shipping for Sky.
You would pay Sky shipping, because yeah, when I'd have to mail her little package, it was $15 shipping for a little package. Every month, it sucked.
Well, I am indebted to Sky for many things.
Yeah, but no, most of my patrons, I would say probably like at least 80% are within the U.S., so it's not that bad. And hey, the good thing is now that I'm a matchmaker, 2 of them are at the same address. So
well, Michelle, now all you need to do is have
they both paid me and met through me. I'm counting it, okay?
That means wait.
Yeah, they paid me. They met each other through me. And now they're living together in another state. She actually moved out of state to be with him.
We know you have interest. I like Michelle. You like Michelle.
Yeah, that's the thing. They left Pyth, but Pyth is the baby.
We'll steal you when you're old enough to.
We'll steal you when you're finally legal.
You're on the list. You don't have a choice.
Oh yeah, Mitchie, you're also on the list.
Yeah, Mitchie, you're on the list too. You don't have a choice.
Oh yeah, so Cody, they want us to move to North Carolina.
North Carolina. What the fuck?
Well, his work is in North Carolina, but they are so close, guys. Like, let's be real here. The Carolinas are not like California. We flew into North Carolina.
The only thing about the East Coast.
I know it's the salt.
No.
People who are on the list don't have a choice.
Down south there ain't no salt, but down south, them motherfuckers got mosquitoes the size of fucking 747s.
Yeah, but they have murder woods.
And
a good thing.
You want land. You can get land. My mom had land that she sold for like $100 or something.
That's because it's Dylan, and Dylan is a fucking cesspool.
Oh my god, okay, so no, funny story about North Carolina. So we went out to the Carolinas years ago for a job opportunity for Cody. My mom was...
Call it was. I paid $1,000 to drive a NASCAR truck and then didn't get shit from it.
Hey, it was technically an interview. It was. It was a job opportunity.
It was the most expensive interview I've ever paid for.
But you did get to drive in an actual NASCAR truck.
Yeah, I did.
He did. But anyway, we were out there and my mom called us and she was like, "Can you guys go check on my land I have in Dillon?" And we were like, "You have land in Dillon?" She's like, "Yeah, I bought it like super cheap in the 80s." And I was like, "How much?" She's like, "I bought it for like $100 and it's like 6 acres or something." And so we went out to where the land was supposed to be. And I'm like, "Mom, nothing is out here and all of the land is for sale." And my mom's like, "Damn." The sad thing is if my mom kept it, we probably could have had a house built on the land in Dillon.
No, I wouldn't like Dillon, so no.
But it's 6 acres.
What they do? It's fucking Dillon.
Sorry for anybody who listens.
Was abandoned.
That is true. The town in Dillon, the police station was abandoned, and that kind of freaked us out.
Oh.
Like, when the police are like, "Nah, fuck this place."
No
Like, it's done.
fear.
We're done.
Oh well, at least it's not like how it used to be in Troy where, you know, the police station was there. But the police didn't do anything, really.
I mean, that's a few places. By the way, no offense if anybody lives in Dillon. I'm sorry. When we went through Dillon, it was scary.
Look, I saw the definition of every southern stereotype while driving through that place.
We did, in the Carolinas, we did go to a restaurant where a child just got baptized. That did happen. Oh, hey, Cody, if you want, you can play with Christian since you're playing Borderlands.
I like a solo play currently, but I'll maybe...
Cody's just randomly started it up now, that's why,
They stopped playing it.
I mean, it was free, honestly. I already have a bunch of versions, but my poor computer, is dying, and now it won't play any games, even like basic bitch games, it will not run.
Listen, I told you I could help you build another computer.
I know, but I don't have the money for that right now, and I know for a fact you don't either, so don't offer. No, not you, I'm talking to Orr. Because Orr offered to help me, but he literally
Or, I swear to Christ, I will get out there and I will slap you and then hug you.
You will fly to South Carolina.
I don't give a shit. I'll hit him with a salmon.
Where are you gonna get a salmon?
I'll go to the store. I will buy a salmon and I will bitch slap him with it. Either that or a catfish. You know what? I'm gonna take Orr noodling and I'm gonna make sure he gets eaten by a catfish.
Wait, you're gonna take him what the fuck is noodling?
You never heard of noodling?
No, what the hell is noodling?
You and your 10 buddies.
No, get over here. Get over here and tell people what noodling is.
Alright, so I'm gonna break it down for y'all.
What the fuck is noodling?
Now I'm starting to understand why my students
I need some clarity as well.
Yeah, I had students who thought I was from the South. They're like, "You're from California?" I'm like, "Damn straight, son." Alright, so if you want to know the history of noodling, alright, you go down to the bank somewhere, river, lake, don't matter. Fuck, local pond or creek, it's all good.
I can't.
You're gonna go down there, you're gonna find the biggest log you can. Now, here's the thing. Catfish, they are coy individuals. They don't just lollygag out in the middle of nowhere.
Wait, what's with the log? What's the log for?
Hush! I'm getting to it. Okay?
I can't.
You're gonna go down, okay? You're gonna get your arm there, and you're gonna start fishing around in some holes. Okay?
In the log.
You're gonna go under the water.
Wait.
Right? Maybe fully underwater. You better have a good breath in you, okay? You're gonna drown otherwise. And you're gonna stick your arm up into a hole. Okay, underwater. You can't see in there. You just gotta trust. Okay.
Why?
Then you're gonna look around with your hand and look for a fish. Okay, and it's probably gonna bite you. And that's the point. You want
What's the log for?
The log is where they hide, hun. That's where they hide. Catfish. They like to hide up under stuff during the day because it's hot. Right? They don't come. They're bottom feeders. All right. So you get up under there. Right? You gotta feel around. You gotta look for the right spot. Now be careful because there could be a water moccasin in there, and then you die.
What's a water moccasin?
That's a snake. It's very deadly. Okay? So you're gonna get up under there. You're gonna shove your arm in there. You're gonna bitch slap that catfish. Hopefully. All right. And it's gonna get mad. And it's gonna bite you. Right? And hopefully it lodges itself about halfway up the forearm.
Wait, you want the fish to eat your
They
head?
don't have teeth. They don't have teeth. Well, they might have teeth, but not very big ones. No, they're bottom feeders. They're sucker fish. So it's going to glomp your arm entirely, right? And you're going to be inside the catfish, kind of like wearing a glove.
That's disgusting.
Then you're going to remove your arm while holding onto the catfish, right?
Wait,
it's not going to want to let go, so you're just going to pull out.
You're going to pull its organs out of the live catfish?
No, you're in its mouth. You're not in its...
You just said you're inside of the catfish.
They have big mouths, okay?
Where are the organs?
They're down inside. But you're not in there yet, okay?
What?
You're in its mouth. It hasn't swallowed your whole arm. Okay?
I don't like any of this.
Now, it depends on how big the catfish is, because sometimes they might be big enough to get your whole arm in their mouth, right? They're huge. They could be like 45 pounds or bigger.
That's
right?
terrifying.
So you come out, right? You feel it clamp on you, right? And you come out and you got a catfish. That's called noodling.
Mouth is 60% of catfish?
It really is.
Ew!
Yeah, now the scary part is sometimes catfish will eat anything. Fuck, it could be, you can find a crab in there. You could find some crawfish. You could find a water moccasin inside the damn catfish.
How? How do they live?
They eat off the bottom. They eat anything. They're a fucking garbage disposal.
So catfish are the rats of the water?
That's why they got the fingers.
What?
Look up noodling. I swear.
I am not
it's
gonna look
it's
up.
It's a southern tradition. You go out there, you go noodling.
People are never gonna know that you're Mexican besides your last name.
Nope, they won't. Because I can go fucking Mexican too if you want.
Oh Jesus.
I loved every minute of that.
I put an image of a
It was
catfish.
very amusing.
Hold on. That's just. How do you kill
You're
the?
gonna look up noodling.
I am not looking up noodling.
Look up noodling.
No, I am not. Ah! I don't like that. No.
Sloppy catfish.
It looks ugly. Why do people eat catfish? I hear it tastes gross.
Dirty.
I heard catfish does not taste good.
That's a small catfish.
I am trying to picture just people shoving their hand in a that is just everything you're told not to do. See that random hole? You're gonna shove your arm fucking in it.
Underwater. You have to be underwater.
Oh.
So you're gonna be almost drowning.
Here's a proper image of catfish.
Oh Jesus.
I feel so lost here. Did I miss something?
Catfish.
Ew!
That is a big cat.
Bare hand.
It's called noodling.
Oh boy.
I can honestly say I have never before this day heard of noodling, and I lost like 10 people watching with your debate about noodling. 10 people from the YouTube just fucking checked out.
They heard that and they're like, oh fuck this.
They were either like, wow, this guy's an asshole, or ew, I'm leaving.
I wasn't being an asshole. I was telling you what noodling was.
Wow.
How do you kill the catfish then?
You
Like,
fucking kill it.
It's a fish. You pull it out of the water.
Your arm, of course,
but
Catfish don't have scales either. They have skin.
Ew! Everything about this conversation does not make me happy.
You have to peel the skin.
Just ew.
Yeah, exactly. No.
Fried catfish is really good.
Oh,
I have only ever heard. Okay, people are fighting. People are like, yeah, catfish doesn't taste good, and then the next comment, catfish tastes awesome.
I think it's just a case of love it or hate it.
Isn't there that one like whale shark in Greenland or something that's supposed to taste like really gross?
Wait, what is this comment? I'm sorry. This comment. Sorry. I'm a Florida girl. I think noodling's cool, but catfish tastes bad. You hit it in the head with a rock if it tries to get away. What?
why?
That's just that does. Okay, like
I can imagine it's just someone a catfish with a rock now.
Oh my god. That mental image is amazing.
I only know about noodling because my friend had a fear of catfish and I kept looking it up for him. Yeah, Michi, they don't have a skull, so they die fast. That's even worse! Oh, so when you hit it with the rock, you just get right into the brain. That's sad.
You get right to their mush.
Oh.
Are you okay, Mitchie?
I'm not okay.
I am not. I'm not. And I know Pyth is probably crying because I know that Pyth is the vegan here.
Oh, that's right! No, Pike!
I shouldn't laugh. I'm so sorry. It's just Or's reaction. Oh shit! Right.
I have an important question.
What?
A weird vegan question. Where was this going?
Okay. The first question I need to ask: why do you not eat meat? This is very important for the second question.
Okay. Health. I like cows and animals, and it tastes bad.
Okay. Because my question is, because I wanted to ask, I wanted to ask several different people the same question.
I'm so scared of what this question
come
is.
from an animal, but was made, would you eat it?
Wait, what?
Oh, you're talking about the weird science meat?
Yes.
Space meat.
I don't really like the taste of meat, anyways, but maybe chicken.
Cool.
But, like there is like
I
Beyond
wanted to
Meat,
ask people.
just like Beyond Meat that tastes just like chicken, so I'm good.
I know there's actually quite a few vegans that love the taste of meat, but they care about animals more. Like, for me, honestly, if I probably lived on a farm, I would be a vegan because I can't look at the animal and then eat it. I just can't. It's why whenever I go into, it's why whenever I go to like, I remember because I went on, my first like vivid memory of this was I was in elementary school and we had gone to a farm. It was my first time on a farm, and they like let us feed baby cows like with a bottle, and I got to pet it and love it. And then right afterwards, my mom was like, "Okay, we're going to Burger King," and I was like, "I can't. I just looked into its eyes." And then my second experience,
the burger's eyes.
pretty much my second experience, and how I lost like 20 pounds one summer. It was very unhealthy because I lost it in like 1 month. Was I went to that summer camp that I did my art camp video on, and I remember it was like the second week I was there, and for one of the dinners they were like, "Oh yeah, we made barbecue shrimp," and I fucking love shrimp. They didn't tell me or anybody else that the entire shrimp was on the kebab, like head and legs and all. So in my little young middle school brain, I'm like, it's the what normal shrimp looks like when it's not its carcass. And so I ordered like 3 of the skewers because I was super excited to not get the fake food and the weird powdered eggs. And then they just gave me this tray, and my counselor's like, "Okay, Michelle, it's really easy. You just take the head in your mouth and you rip it off." And I was just like, I am not eating any meat for the rest of the summer. And this camp was so bad on their dietary options that I literally, for like 3 weeks, I ate cereal and salad. And not good salad. It was like lettuce with ranch because that's all they had that was not meat options.
Oh, that sounds disgusting.
So, because I just couldn't get the mental image of my counselor, and the counselor wasn't mean. She was literally showing me how to do it, and like everyone else at my table was ripping the little shrimp's legs off, and I'm just like, I can't.
I couldn't do that.
So like for the entire, my mom saw me when she picked me up, and she was like, "You lost so much weight," and I was like, "I'm so hungry."
This conversation reminded me of one of our role plays with Maxine and the Brahmin.
Oh no.
Oh yeah. It also reminds me of the whole fact that what was his name? Daniel? When Daniel's afraid of fish because they scream at him when you pull him out of the water.
Yeah, and then there was that time that all they had available to them was fish. Well, that and fruit.
Because
Emily was
not with the role play, but Tetsu she's a vegetarian, but like, because she's not full vegan, but she's one of the kind of people, like, for characters, if you guys don't know, I have a character named Tetsu. She's the purple-haired girl that is kind of my mascot that I'm slowly changing over to Cleo. But I made it because the fact that she can like hear animals, she can hear them screaming. And so when she was a kid, she had a really traumatizing event. She's like, I'm just not gonna eat meat. But she's also a lady, so if someone like gave it to her, she's not gonna be rude, but she's not gonna like eating it. So when I say vegetarian over vegan is like, if the milk or cheese products are already there, she'll eat it, but she won't like go out of her way to like get it.
See, I can't say the same thing when it comes to veganism and stuff like that because I actually do or used to go hunting and shit and skin my own things.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like if you grew up in it, that's different though, because like again, I was raised by Jews, and hunting is like a super big no-no. I don't know why, because like fishing is fine, but that's always been a thing. Like Jews are not supposed to hunt. You can farm.
Listen, hunting is a big no-no, but remember the Maroney clan is a big hunting family, so it's like really weird.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I just can't wait to have a vegan fridge one day.
To have a vegan fridge?
Yeah, because I have to share with my parents.
Oh, right. Well, if you get kidnapped by Orr, you're gonna have to have your own fridge.
I can have that arranged.
I have my own fridge.
I will meet everyone's needs
I am a
as
fridge.
needed.
I mean, hey, if we're all living in one big house, you know, all the rent's paid. Wait, what?
Listen, there's a list, and anybody on that list does not have a choice.
Oh yeah, who else in the Patreon is in the list?
Several people.
Are you gonna kidnap everyone?
I gotta go to the bathroom.
All right, you go pee.
Masuda's on that list.
Everybody. Ah! Gun Moon! I don't like it! No!
What did Moon Moon do? Moon Moon, what did you do?
I didn't do anything.
Look at the.
Yes.
I don't like
It's
it.
just a noodle.
Oh.
I couldn't do that. Like, I can't. Just the idea of being where its organs are, like,
Oh.
no. And now that I know they don't have a skull, freaks me out even more. Just no. Big, fat, harsh no.
Yeah, you missed that old conversation, right? But it's so weird. They were talking about catfish. That's all I'm telling you.
Okay, so besides that traumatizing event, what else are we talking about? Oh, okay, so, another topic is that last night, when I was supposed to be working, I ended up binging Hill House on Netflix, and it is so good, and got me in the fifis.
Why? What's
So
it
hard.
about?
It is a haunted house story of a family's slow descent into madness and being haunted. Pretty much, it's the... Because my favorite, like, Stephen King book of all time is Dr. Sleep, which is a sequel to The Shining, which is also a really good book of mine that I love. But every adaptation of The Shining has been shit. Because they don't get the slow descent into madness. Like, because, and I blame movie formats, like, I'm sure if this was in a movie format, it would suck. But because it's a 10-episode show and each episode's an hour long, you, like, slowly watch the disintegration of this family into madness and paranormal hauntings, and it's like, when stuff happens, you're just like, oh, my heart! Everything hurts.
Interesting.
Yeah, and, right to the point where when Cody got to, I will say, though, episode 5 and 6 are going to be the episodes that either make you go, I have to finish this, or I can't.
Yeah, it's one of those.
But it's really good in writing, it's really great, and, it's on Netflix, so if you have a Netflix account, I totally recommend The Haunting of Hill House. But I loved it because, I've talked about this before on my channel, like, tons of times, I know I have, but when it comes to The Shining and Dr. Sleep and stuff, the whole point of why those books are so good is because, like, when you read their descent into insanity, you feel really bad for the characters, and you're supposed to feel bad. In the miniseries and the movie, I'm just like, God damn it, Jack, kill him! Kill him! I hate him in this. I don't care that you're insane. But in the book, you're like, this hurts.
Oof.
So, really good. I recommend it if you like the spoops. Also, there are only 2 jump scares in the entire show. And another really cool part about it is because it is a haunting show, they put, I think they said anywhere between 10 and 15 ghosts just randomly in the background of scenes. So Cody and I, when we were watching it, there were certain parts where, because Cody came in halfway and I caught him up, so we watched the rest of it before he had to go back to work. And when we were watching it, it was like, oh, there's one, or just like, oh, Jesus, there's just one right there, and they don't know it, it's just there, just staring at him.
Rip.
And 10 out of 10, I recommend it if you like horror and you like a good story that just rips your heart out and then stomps on it. Anyway, is there anything else you guys want to talk about?
Good question.
I'm sorry if I isolated everybody from the topic going on how much I like Hill House for a minute. Sorry.
I'm just concentrated on trying to win a karting game.
Oh, okay.
I have to start 2 different new jobs soon.
How? Why?
Because my last job I was doing, I hated it, so it was like, no.
Would you like to explain why?
Oh, so
don't nickname the job just to be safe.
Yeah.
Nickname where you worked.
Inventory Incorporated.
Okay.
So basically, this company, I live in the state of South Carolina. My job there was to go to different grocery stores and count the inventory. Now, most jobs are usually restrained, especially if you go to site, you're usually restrained within a certain distance. But this company, for some reason, our cover distance was all the way from North Carolina to Georgia.
Whoa.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Did they at least pay you compensation to go?
We're paid for travel time, but here's the thing. The first hour of that travel time, you're not given.
Oh, that's BS.
Why? That just sounds so wrong on many levels.
The whole company is very disorganized.
I would say so.
Our jobs, I was told when signing up, is that you'll always be home around noon. Right?
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
So, if that's the case, can someone tell me why I was gone for almost 14 hours to go do a job?
Oh my god, that sounds like the shit Cody's old work would do. Like, Cody's old boss would, like, they would do, so he'd work a full, like, normal work week, and then on the weekends when he's supposed to have off, maybe he was out flying or doing a show or something. Now, I don't know if this is everywhere, but I know in California, by law of the labor board, when you have travel days, those are supposed to count as a work day. So, like, flying, especially if you're flying cross-country, which Cody used to have to do, because very rarely can businesses afford, a straight-through flight. You're usually getting layovers and stuff. They're supposed to give you your weekends when you get back. Well, I remember there was a time where Cody worked, I think 18 straight days with no day off. And then when other people would bring it up, not just Cody, be like, hey, by law, I'm supposed to get weekends. His old boss would be like, yeah, so-and-so who got fired? They used to say stuff like that.
I hope that boss got fired.
Oh, he did, but it wasn't until after Cody left.
Oof.
But, what's funny was we went to this car show thing a little while ago with a bunch of Cody's, old employees, and they were all like, oh my god, Dickweed got fired? Thank God! Pretty much everyone who left that company did so much better than actually working there. And, that man, oh my god, that man was so infuriating. He was the kind of rich that didn't realize he was rich. And by that, there was one time that, not just Cody, but kind of a lot of people asked for a raise, and not a reasonable, not a bad raise. Because I think when Cody started working there, he was either making just above minimum wage, it wasn't a lot more, or minimum wage. So when they asked for, a raise for all their work and their positions, Cody's old boss yeah, we can't afford that. But then, a week later, he was like, look at this, Cody, how much was the Firebird? Was it a Firebird? Or Hellcat? Hellcat, that was, oh, he can't hear me, his headset's on. I forgot. I gave him a surround sound headset. Let me Google how much this is, because I remember he got like that year's version of the car.
What?
Oh, how much did Dickweed pay for his help? Yeah, $35,000. Oh, $75,000 in cash, and then came to work being like, look how great the company is. I just bought this in cash. Literally right after people asked for a raise and they were told the company didn't have the money.
Wow.
Yeah, or I remember another time, we were out at a car show, and, by the way, I never worked for this company, so in no way did they have to pay for my meal. Like, I'm not saying that, but they were doing another car show, and I was just there, and we were gonna go out to dinner, like the people were gonna go out to dinner, and Cody and I kind of expected they were gonna pay for me and everything, and that same boss was like, don't worry, I have like a $5 million credit limit on my credit card, so it's on me, and everyone was like, I mean, you could have just said it was on you. We didn't need to know you have a $5 million credit limit. Thanks.
Kind of sounded like a brag.
Oh yeah, that's just it. And like, his kid was the exact same way, to where his kid was technically the manager when he wanted to be. So nobody respected his son when his son came in. And so I remember Cody would text me. He's like, oh, it's pretend to be at a grown-up day. Because he would come in and be like, I'm the manager. And everyone's like, you haven't worked here in like 6 months. And you have no idea what's going on, Dickweed Jr.
Oof.
But yeah, so. Anyway, I'm sorry for that tangent there, but it's I can't stand companies do that shit to people. It's like, oh yeah, we know that you need this job, so we're gonna treat you like a rat. And that it doesn't matter that you're doing these things. And then it's one of those things, like, if you complain, it's like, well, you don't need this job. We can just go get someone else who won't complain.
Well, what really pissed me off about working there, which is why I ended up leaving in the first place, was the last job I was at, the one I was gone for like 13 hours to do.
Yeah.
The company has this thing that's called CPH. CPH stands for count per hour. Your job is dependent on your CPH. But apparently that day, everyone's CPH was not good. And something, literally, 4 words what they said, if you do not bring your count numbers up while on work, we will take your machine, which is what we use to count, away from you, and you will not be paid for your time.
What?
Yep.
That's not right, man. Not right.
That is literally what they said.
God.
So I quit.
No, that's smart. Like, that is, because there are certain jobs. It's like when I worked that fast food job for 3 days, and I quit because I'm like, wow, you're a racist, an asshole, and you treat me like shit. This is not worth the money. It's just not. I'll go find another job somewhere else.
Thankfully, I already have 2 different new jobs lined up that I'll be starting soon. So
that's good. That is very good.
Yeah. One of them is a curry deliverer. I'll be taking bank bags between banks, and the other one is a night shift security position at a water treatment plant.
Oh, that's good.
It is an armed position though, so I will have. Yeah.
I mean, Angel did get me a taser. Wait, what? Was it Angel or was it Gunmoon? I think it was one of you two.
It was Angel.
That's what I thought. Okay, yeah. That thing is loud, by the way. Oh my god, okay, speaking of my taser, I have a horror story that happened this month where I wish I had it. So, this happened recently. So, I was making soup, and I needed to get a couple of ingredients. The grocery store is really close to my house. I told Cody, I was like, hey, I'll have dinner ready, but you're not going to be able to have lunch, so let me pick up lunch on the way back from the store. So I was in the way back from the store, and I was at a Taco Bell.
Everything okay?
And hello.
What mom need?
My grandma.
Oh.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I just want to make sure I didn't cut out there. Sorry. So anyway, what ended up happening was I was in the drive-thru, and there was this guy wandering around the parking lot. I kind of noticed it, but I didn't pay much mind to it. So my window's down, and I'm ordering for me and Cody. And this crazy guy, this is traumatizing, I'm not even lying. I was freaked out in my other chat. he runs up to my car and tries to open my passenger door and then sticks his head in my window, like in front of me, and is like, "Hey, can you please get me some tacos?" And then I hear the Taco Bell lady on the intercom scream, I scream, and she's screaming, "I'm calling the fucking police." And so I'm trying to roll my window up. The guy like pops his head out of my car. And then I watch as one of the Taco Bell employees freaking runs out of the Taco Bell. And honestly, if it wasn't for the fact that there was a car behind me and in front of me, I would have just floored it out of the drive-thru. And they told the creepy guy off, and the creepy homeless guy walked off, and I was traumatized. And I remember being so scared. And I really wish I had my taser, because that was terrifying. Because he full-on just tried, because he tried to open my car door and get in my car, and then put his face into my window. It was terrifying.
Yeah, I have a knife, but I'm not allowed to bring my knife anywhere with me.
Your knife is an inch too long.
Oh, that sucks. Do you guys have the same rule we do here? It's like, it can't be bigger than your palm.
Something like that. I forget exactly how the rule works here.
Yeah, I know in California, if it is a like pocket knife, it cannot be bigger than your palm.
Yeah.
Mine's a knife that you use to skin things.
Yeah, it's a long
Oh,
knife.
so that's a knife.
Oh
it's not overly long, but it's just barely too long.
It is very sharp though.
It is.
Yes, because my poppy used to hunt. So you know, that's my poppy knife.
So that was my terrifying story that happened this month.
Oof. Goodness.
All right. Well, do you guys have any other topics or stuff you want to talk about? Because we still have like an hour left.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Really? We've only been chatting for like an hour.
Hey, Mitchie, I have a question.
Sure, shoot.
How does one write a story?
The fuck? That's so vague. Jesus. I mean, I guess the first thing would be what?
I've been trying to work on one of my stories for Theta Labs, and I actually have to write a screenplay for it because it's supposed to be a visual novel.
Okay.
But I don't know how to write.
Okay, well then, a good thing to do in my mind. Can you still hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I'm like leaning back in my chair, so I'm not close to my mic. I want to make sure you guys can still hear me. So anyway, a good thing to do is to, one, if you have an idea, write it out, and then try to outline the idea, and then fill in the blanks. So like what I did with Ticks and Turns, because that's the easiest one, was I already had a beginning, a middle, and an end, where I had a beginning, a twist, and the end in mind. And then I just filled in the blanks of the middle. And then once I was able to do that, because I remember being like, okay, the outline was like, all right, how do I get from the beginning to the middle part, and the middle part to the end, to where it flows naturally. So having an outline, and my outlines are not detailed. It was literally a sentence that was like, okay, I won't use Ticks and Turns, that's gonna spoil the book. But, what's another one I can do? Okay, I can do a Ringmaster story, because it's not really that, it's not that, like, spoilery, really. Alright, so, his story starts in, no, not really technically present day Mark, because present day Mark's Tetsu's story. I'd say about 10 years before Tetsu's story starts. That's where his, like, will be modern-ish day. So I go there, and then it's gonna go into a flashback. Actually, no, wait, I'm wrong here. I'm sorry. I've never actually written it out, so okay. Starts in the present day, you meet a new character, you meet a character named Blair, and Blair is my world's version of a nun that ends up joining Ringmaster's circus. And Ringmaster acts really differently around her, but he's still his chaotic asshole self. But she starts to, as she goes to the circus, she starts regaining memories because she has like really weird amnesia. And not in the normal tropey amnesia way. I made sure to change that. So as her memories are going on, she realizes that she has memories of Ringmaster when he was younger, but she can't remember his name. So you're going through like her learning circus life and learning how the world actually is compared to like being a little sheltered nun. And then you go into the past of what she was going through and remembering things, and so you're having like a like two timelines kind of going on at once. And then you meet a character that ends up being the villain of that story. And so then it's like, okay, I had to go from like, how does this flow into meeting that character? Now they met the character, and now we're going to get into the conflict with that character. And then it was, all right, got to go into that. And then she gets her memories back. She and Ringmaster have some moments. And then it goes into why he is the way he is. And then you get the ending where you get the final fight. So it's like, okay, you had to go from like, here's introducing the character, here are things like that. And then it's like, okay, here's the conflict. Now that you have the conflict, you also have the part of the story that it goes through. And then once you get there, it's like, dog! But that's I think that's a good way to do it. But then like, Circus Nun plus Chaotic Ringmaster equals amazing. Thank you! Yeah, she's a very good sheltered bean. What?
I want to ask a thing.
Sure, ask a thing.
How would you make a character's death like really hit hard on like the reader or viewer?
Okay, so how to make a character death? Well, one, it also depends on the, because this is a little bit of a hard one. It depends on the type of character. Because for me,
for my baby.
Yeah, no, for all of my stories, I like to have the world not be a plot point. Like, in a lot of, you see it in a lot of dystopians and a lot of horrors, where the characters are just there, but the main point is, like, the world. A perfect example of the Hunger Games, you know?
Like how Game of Thrones used to be?
Yeah, pretty much, exactly like how Game of Thrones used to be, I love stories where, because I love fantasy stories, but I like when you're just thrust into the world, or like Harry Potter does do it kind of well, but at the same time, Harry Potter is a mix of modern, like you know, normal world and then fantasy. But so it all depends. Like all of my stories, even in the fucked up world ones, like in Marked, none of the characters pull a like dystopian where it's like, we need to go change the government and free the people. It's more like, this is the world we live in and we kind of just want to survive. So it's like, it's character studies. So that's also really important to think about. So is your story like a character story, or is it like a world story? Because there are only 7 types of stories in the world that you can make. Like there's even a famous book. It's like the 7. I think you've only 7 stories or something. 7 stories, but they pretty much explain what it is. And the whole thing that make good books good are the character interactions and the characters to it. So to have a death mean something. One is you need to be careful if you do a cop out, and by that it's like, you start where it's like, oh, the character dies, but then their death has no impact, because a character
death has a huge impact.
Oh yeah, because like a character death in a story needs to be important, which is why it's also really hard to do. Which is also why I'll use Game of Thrones as a very simple example. Ned Stark, in spoilers for Game of Thrones season 1, and the first book, but what ends up happening is Ned Stark, who's the hero in like every other fantasy story, he ends up finding out the truth, and right when he's about to fix things, he gets murdered. So, because it's one of those things where people were like, yeah, if he wasn't murdered, the whole story would have been done in like probably 2 or 3 seasons if he never died. Pretty easily. But it's like, okay, we killed him off, and now his character and everything he knows that he didn't pass on is lost to the world. And his death impacts so much more of the story. You know, it starts the rebellion, it starts everything else, and so you have to think of that too. So is this character death, is it like a good character making a sacrifice? Is it a bad character having a change of heart? Is it a bad character being an asshole? Like
I think my story's like a mix. Like first it just starts off with people trying to like survive, and then finds out like people trying to fix stuff. The character that died, like that, that's something pretty important, but she dies with it.
Okay, so
And
It's just like an item that's really important, but nobody knows what it is.
okay. Well, okay, I know a good. Okay, so
She's also pretty funny.
okay, this isn't technically a spoiler because it's just a fact and it will come up later. But in Marked, the whole reason for the really big racist war, because there's no other way to really say it, then humans are trying to make everything that's mythical vanish.
Oh, Mark is her story.
Which isn't huh? What?
Huh?
Hello?
Yeah, what?
I wait, did someone say something?
No one said anything. We were all listening to you.
Oh, okay, sorry. So the whole point of the war is that there are 7 holy relics that keep balance in the world, but no one really knows they exist. And pretty much the whole reason why mages were created in the first place was mages were originally a backup plan, but the gods died before they could really tell anybody, which is why they're also based off of each element that makes the world. So something happens, one of the relics dies, and one of the mages has to sacrifice themselves, because I'm not going to say who it is, because that one is a spoiler. But this is in Siren's timeline, when she's like a young, hopeful, optimistic being before, everything happens to her. And what ends up happening is that mage ends up sacrificing themselves to fix the thing, but in doing so, it pretty much sets a nuke off, and it ends up killing millions of humans. And so humans don't know about these relic things. Animals and beasts don't know about these relic things. They're so old that people didn't know they even were real. And so then it's one of those like, wait, those things that we were worshiping and we cared about just decided to nuke millions of people out of nowhere? And they technically can't die because they get reborn every time they die. So this is scary. And so the whole thing ends up being a catalyst of fear and misunderstanding that just ended up into the point where when the main story starts, it's just been so ingrained in everybody's DNA that magic is bad that a lot of them don't even know why the war has been going on for the first place. It's just like, yeah, it's trying to get rid of dragons and elves and, mythical things so we can just exist. So, because that story's been done a million times, that specific story of, human good, mythic bad, but it's the characters that make the stories different, which is why there are so many stories like that.
There was a war that happened in my story, but it's like way different than that. So it can be done in different ways.
Oh, exactly, and that's just it. I'm not saying having a war and racism in a story is unique. It's not. It's very much not.
It's a basic plot device in a lot of stories.
Indeed.
Oh yeah, exactly, and so that's why I just wanted to do the effects of being a magic person growing up in this world would be. And I also like shades of gray characters. You can have a good black and white villain, but a good reason to a villain too is you want to make sure you have your villain make sense. They have to.
Yeah. So
and also if they're like lol crazy, you can't oh yeah, sure. Sure, go ahead.
Okay, I got a quick question. So from villain to make sense is kind of like a Lord Voldemort type thing. You kind of see his arc in his path. So he wants to basically take over the entire magical community and subjugate them against the humans, right?
Yeah.
But it's very hard to do a fine line between a Lord Voldemort to let's say, I'm trying to think of a goofy villain that doesn't really have any plot, but he's still a threat.
You mean like Eggman?
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
Eggman. He's a serious threat if he actually gets the initiative. But he's not that big of a threat in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah. Well, that's another good example. Good example of just again an Eggman type character is he's lol crazy for lol crazy. So there's no real reason for his I know in some games they tried to give him an edgy dark reason, and I'm like, it's fucking Eggman, man. Calm the hell down.
Eggman. There's nothing edgy about that.
Exactly. Or you could do what they did with Sonic Boom. People can say what they did. I like that show. I thought that show was really funny and pretty meta. Like, there's a really stupid joke where, I forget where it is, but Sonic says something like, so-and-so's my middle name, and Knuckles goes, I thought it was the, and it took me a lot longer to get that joke, and then when I got it, I thought that was fucking hilarious, and I was like, that's pretty smart. But there's, like, with, like, Eggman in that version, he's just, like, an asshole. Like, there's a whole episode where he ends up living with Sonic because I think his island gets hacked or something, and Sonic, like, just lets him live with him, and so I'm like, it depends on versions of it, but, that is also important, you know? The problem with a cartoony, silly villain like an Eggman is when stuff happens to him, you don't really care. You know, like, yeah, whatever, you're just... Or, like, a good example is, like, Draken from Kim Possible. If anybody remembers that show, and I'm not really old and dating myself.
I do remember that. I didn't see much of it, but I do remember it.
Was, Shigo.
Yeah, she was actually the only true villain in that show.
Oh, yeah, Shigo's... Yeah, exactly. And that was the best part. As I loved Shigo in that whole thing. But that was it. It's like, whenever Draken got his ass beat, you were just like, okay, whatever, you know? And, like, a weird example of, like, a crazy one that makes sense in another kid show I can think of is, like, because I have to say this now, in the old school Powerpuff Girls, when you got, like, the Mojo Jojo origin episode, because I remember seeing that episode and, like, as a kid being really sad, being like, oh, he was the professor's, like, pet and friend, and then he made the Powerpuff Girls and kind of just stopped caring about it, but I was like, oh, that's...
Yeah, abandoned him.
That makes a lot of sense, actually. But like that, so like, you know, that's the thing, and a good villain, even an evil one, is, you see where they're coming from. Like you said, Voldemort earlier, because I'm a Harry Potter tard, so, let me put my glasses on. In the books, because I have to say, they never brought it up in the movies, and I kind of wish they did. Like, in the books, you find out that in a, and this isn't a joking way, but he's pretty much a rape baby. Because what ended up happening was his mom was a pure-blood witch who was in love with the, like, local lord's son, Tom Riddle, and he's also named after his human dad. So what ends up happening is she ends up, like, keep feeding Tom Riddle love potions. They get, like, engaged and married, and she gets pregnant. And she's like, I'm married now, and we're pregnant. I don't have to keep giving this man love potions. And so he comes down, and he's like, what the fuck? And leaves her and the kid. And then, if I remember correctly, I think he dies? Or... Oh, did Voldemort murder him? Yeah. So, but then, like, you learn that, and then she ends up dying. And, you know, that's how Voldemort's in the orphanage, and when he gets adopted, he finds out that, like, he's from this, like, super rare, like, witch bloodline. He's from a Slytherin like, the last pure blood Slytherin bloodline, and he ends up in his own head hyping up his own dad. You're right, no, it is right, he did kill his dad, because he's like, well, my mother must have been human because she died in birth. So my dad must be this super powerful, cool wizard. So he ends up, like, going to find his dad, who he finds out he's named after. Ends up finding out he's a Randy who never wanted him. And it ends up, like, destroying his version of reality. And he ends up murdering his whole family. And
it's like him having a psychotic break is basically the premise of it.
Oh, yeah, exactly. It's the fact that he had a psychotic break. And because he was made under the influence of a love potion, he has no empathy for love. He had empathy, but not for love, which is why he's also like that. So it's like, okay, everything I've known was a lie. You know, my pure bloodline that I was super proud of is like and they were like the Harry Potter version of, like, redneck hillbillies. Like, when they describe them, they were like, because that's all they cared about was, like, we're the last pure blood Slytherins and so
there was inbreeding.
Oh yeah, there was a lot of inbreeding going on, so he was already having, like, a mental spaghetti factory in his head. And so then it went down to him being, like, kind of in a weird way, like an overcompensation thing. You know, he had this whole idea in his head, and it's like, I am a half wizard. I am all of this, which is why he went out of his way to, like, gain all this power, because even he himself doesn't consider himself evil, and I think that's also a good reason why he's a good villain. Is I remember there was, like, something he says that's along the lines of, like, you know,
I know. I think I know what you're saying. His quote is, "I am my own hero. You are the villain
Yeah, I
of
love
my story."
Yeah, pretty much. And then like,
story has been told.
yeah, and then, you know, again, he's also so scared of dying that's why he makes the Horcruxes. And because he makes the Horcruxes, that's why he ends up looking like, you know, fugly snake guy. Because they always talk about was when he was human, he was this, like, beautiful, hot, charismatic guy. But because he was so scared of dying, he ended up turning himself into a monster.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Well
and
then.
and that's also why, like, when everything happens and he finally dies, that's just it. He's dead and he's gone. You know, and that's a good thing. It's like, wow, you make this really powerful villain that wants to get all this power for a selfish reason, but the reason is also because he's so scared of dying, he would rather rip his own soul apart
Then theoretically, like, die and move on.
Exactly.
I swear, it's just like those kind of characters are easy to relate to. Even if he's a villain, you kind of connect with that, correct?
Oh yeah, exactly. And again, especially when you learn his backstory and everything, you're like, oh man, that's rough. Like,
yeah,
it doesn't justify murder, because it doesn't.
No,
but
it doesn't.
But it's one of those, like, that does make sense.
Black markets here, heart of gold.
But let me try to think of another good, like, a good villain that, Killmonger from Black Panther. If anybody's seen Black Panther, you totally understand the reason why he's been doing everything and why, and that's why the whole debate, you know, of the, like, was Killmonger right? Obviously, the way he did it, no. but
his goals and his objective is sound in his own mind.
Exactly, and even what was it? T'Challa says it himself. It's like, you left your nephew, my cousin, to rot in the ghetto when we were living in this paradise, because we had to keep this paradise a paradise. And it's like, that is a villainous act from a hero, you know, where it's like, because he knew that his brother had a kid, and he was just like, should I take him in, or should I just leave him here?
Him there. The thing is, also, he was actually his brother was the one who actually killed his dad, so he actually could have made up and, like, circumvented this entire Killmonger shit if he just took his son with him.
Oh,
instead
yeah.
of just abandoning him and leaving his dead father's corpse right there.
Oh, exactly, yeah. You know, that's another really good. That's a really good way for you to, like, again, you understand the villain's motivations, and another thing too is, it's like, you know, T'Challa didn't want to kill him, but he was not going to let him live. Like Killmonger himself would not let that happen. Like, he would rather die than be a prisoner.
Yep.
And that's another thing. So, like, when you're making a villain, try to see... another thing, too, and this is going to sound weird, because I know it was a long example tangent for this, but you also have to think of, like, your audience. I'm not saying dumb it down for kids stuff, but it is one of those, like, okay, do you want to have, like, your thing be more relatable to kids, adults, all ages?
That's where I'm having trouble.
Because...
I can hear you on that. But, like, I gotta say, what I like primarily in books is, like, hearing the, like, doing the villain's arc before, like, I like a lot of stories, as my girlfriend can detest.
Yeah, you should see Audible. He spent so much money on that.
I only spent, like, in general, like, $3,000.
Yeah, and if you actually saved that money, we would have been in a place by now.
I have a book addiction. I can't.
Oh no, it's fine. My husband was the same way when we got our bookcases. He's like, I'm so happy that you read so much and you're so well educated, but god damn it, you have so many books and I need more.
Word. Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna lie, when I eventually have a house someday, I want to have, like, a wall of just books, because I like, our tax lady has one of those, and I love it. Like, full on, one of her walls, she built it in her wall, and it's just rows and rows and rows of bookcases, and they're all full of books. And I just saw it. Like when I first saw it, I was like, I need this. This is what I don't need bookcases. I need a wall of bookcases. That's it. Give me this.
I also gotta say, the best way to make a villain is if you make him chaotic evil, because you've never really see like chaotic evil is the precipice of doing either something very good or very dark and cruel. In my opinion,
no, I will agree. The only problem with that, and this is a writer thing, and it's hard, is it's very hard for people to have a chaotic character stay within character. There are many times, like, you'll see it in a lot of stories, you know, where there will be a chaotic evil character or something, and then, like, when it's convenient, they suddenly won't be lol crazy or self-absorbed. It's and it's one of those, like,
it's mild schizophrenia. That's the word.
Pretty much, yeah. It's like the Zodiac Lord and I have a saying where it's like, oh, lol crazy, because that's kind of what it's like. Like a good example, at least that I can think of, is like when The Dark Knight originally came out and they like had the Joker. You know, so many people wanted to fuck Heath Ledger's Joker, when it's like, you do understand that like he would kill you, right? Like he wouldn't care. Like that's in his character. They're not like that. You know.
I only know of one chaotic evil character, and he threw a knife with a nuke tied to it and blew up the moon.
What?
What?
Well then.
What?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so to explain that situation,
Please.
in D&D, my friend Colin ran a campaign. In this campaign, we had a Skaven.
I don't know what a Skaven is.
A Skaven is the rat people from Warhammer Fantasy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. This Skaven's name was Icaric. He was chaotic evil.
Oh, this boy.
Yes. He was a bard rogue and gained a special ability called Dodge. He could dodge magic missile, a spell which states this spell cannot miss.
Yeah, so wait, how? What?
He would literally change the plane of reality he's on.
Okay, but see, I mean that's a dick move, but that makes sense for the character.
It is, but dude, that's a total that's a world-breaking ability, man.
I mean, technically, okay, if we're gonna go with D&D stuff, Cody, in one campaign we did, he and his group were able to do the oh fuck, I forget what the technical term is, but it was the like the civilian railgun or something like that. The peasant railgun, where like, because so many people are passing along a spear, it ends up gaining momentum. So by the time, okay, you explain it.
Okay, it's a game-breaking.
I remember that.
It really does.
Yeah.
Okay, the peasant railgun works like this. In D&D, you have what we call free actions. So you can do something and it's immediate. Okay, like passing someone an object that you're standing right next to takes like a second, right? Or less than a second. So like it doesn't count, it's an immediate action. It doesn't take time in D&D logic. So what you do is that you line up like a mile or so worth of peasants, and you have them pass a spear along. And due to the game mechanics, because it's a free action, it makes it from one end of the peasant line all the way to the other end of the peasant line within one turn, which is 1 second. So depending on how, because they all go down that line, it gains momentum, and in game physics of D&D, it becomes a railgun because it has infinite momentum.
But it's the size of a spear.
And it's a spear, so it just gains mass because of fucking physics and just.
Yeah, and you can do it. It's
really, no DM allows it other than Godo.
But you could. If the DM allows it, it's there.
And it will. But and the stupid part is like, the last.
Thank you for the super chat. Sorry, I just got a super chat.
The last person in line has to like roll to throw it. So like all that gain momentum is added on top of that. So it just, yeah.
It's weird.
Damn!
We did it once successfully.
Well, but even then, our DM at the time, our DM was like, "I will let you do this
Only because
once."
you came up with it.
Yeah.
That's one time only.
Doggos.
Precious spot! Relax.
So
Relax.
again, thank you for the super chat, Saint Chatham. Just wanted to say that because they did to take the time to donate. But yeah, that's another good thing is you have to, when writing a story, you also, especially another good one is if you have a character, like, I'm trying to think of how to word this properly. And this is something that, again, this will take time. A lot of people don't seem to understand that being a writer is being an artist. It takes practice. That's why I wanted my first book to be done with Ticks and Turns. With how my life is going, the horror anthology is probably going to get done first, but I mean, I'll talk about that later. But, because you learn from every book you write and every story you write, even if it's just short stories. And so, a good thing, too, that a lot of amateur writers do is they don't know how to do foreshadowing right. They tend to have it right on the nose. A good example of foreshadowing is in Harry Potter. I mean, it's really good, especially like once you know things, if you go back and read the books or see the movies, you see little subtle things, but that hint to everything that's there. So you're like, the clues were in front of me all along. So when you're writing a character like that, you need to also make sure that the foreshadowing is right, but not right on the nose, you know? And another good thing is you want to make sure to avoid... Exactly. You want to show, not tell. And you also want to have... That's my biggest problem with fucking Throne of Glass. Like, I know so many people love the Throne of Glass series, but when I read the first book, everyone and their mom kept talking about how badass Selena Sardathian was. And then when it came down to it, they were like, oh, well, she was in a mine for like a year, so she just got rusty. And I'm like, but you're talking about she was, like, raised by assassins, and, like... She's got this huge name following her, to the point that when people meet her, they're like, "You're Selena Sardathian?" And that's like, that's pretty bad, especially when it's like, in all the parts where she shines to be a badass, she ends up getting her ass beat, and it's like, why do you keep telling us she's a badass instead of showing us she's a badass? And you can do a character being rusty and broken in a good way. I think a good example is in the Hunger Games. In the second book and second movie, you can see that Katniss very clearly has PTSD. And, like, it affects her, and it doesn't just come conveniently. Because that's kind of what I started calling a lot of books like that, where it's like, oh, I'm going to conveniently give a character PTSD and then conveniently get rid of it when it's, like, not convenient. And you can't do things like that to have characters feel real. Another good writing tip is... for me, when I'm writing dialogue, in any sense, I like to say it out loud to see if a person would actually say that. Because there are a lot of dialogue in movies, shows, comics, every kind of medium, where you're like, that's a written line. No one would actually say something like that, you know? And...
That's Star Wars Episode 2.
Yeah. But I love the sand memes, okay? The sand memes are great.
So,
Yes,
to be
go ahead.
fair, he's a Jedi. They're not exactly allowed to do that sort of thing in the first place.
Wait, the love or the sand thing?
Love.
The
Yeah.
sand thing?
You haven't heard the sand meme? Oh, hey, Sky, how you doing?
I'm okay.
When'd you get here? I didn't notice you. I'm sorry.
Hi, Sky. Just a minute ago.
A minute ago.
You didn't hear when I yelled ski?
No, I didn't hear the ski.
I didn't either.
Oh, I do have good news for you, Ski, though. So I'm gonna stream Bloodstain later tonight, and I got to Murder Wife, but I didn't fight her yet. I waited for you.
Oh, I think I'm
I
at work.
saw your character in that.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, what?
Oh, yay. I actually get to catch this one.
Yay.
Ew, I didn't even know they were happening.
Yeah,
They
sorry,
were-
they weren't really planned. I stream them on the website that rhymes with itch, so.
I
they.
don't get YouTube with that. Like, why won't they show your videos?
YouTube won't explain, and they outright won't say why, but people have tested it. What? 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 What's so funny? Are you getting sucked into Borderlands humor now?
Oh my god, I forgot I was on Borderlands.
Oh no. Oh no.
Because the lady was, they're all Australian. And
Yeah, I know they're Australian.
the lady's like, I need somebody to make his posters now. And he's like, what? What do you mean motivational posters?
You
Oh, I'm
drink
sorry.
all of
My
it?
accent
That's
really
all
is
right.
fucking
There's some
fucking
right
dick.
there, man.
That's a
I
teacup
need
size
y'all to
water.
help me with some y'all fucking posters,
Well,
y'all.
how
And, you know,
How did
cowboys and donuts and homophobia, y'all. And it's like,
What?
What?
Spot,
Yeah.
don't eat the
Cowboys
tissue.
and donuts and homophobia, y'all. Oh my god.
I will buy you tennis balls. Stop it.
What?
I'm talking to the dog. He's eating tissues.
I raise weird dogs.
Yeah, you do. And my cat thinks he's a dog, so we have 3 dogs technically.
I mean, my cat's pretty much a dog too. Are you okay, Sky? You're being really
I think
quiet.
mine is too.
I think I'm just waking up and I got this new mic, so I don't know how it works yet.
I mean, you sound crystal clear. You're just really quiet.
Yep.
Oh, good.
But I think that's just the tired.
That's just the tired.
All right, but yeah, I will be streaming later on tonight. I'm not sure when yet. Probably once Cody leaves. But
I'm at work.
oh, you're at work. I'll have to wait then, because I know you really wanted to see Blood Wife.
I want to see the Blood Wife.
All right, I will wait for you.
Thank you.
I have fan art ideas for that too.
The game. Like I said,
Yeah.
I love the game. I love the game, but I'm very critical of it. Like, I don't regret playing it at all. Because there have been some that's happened to. Like there was this horror indie game I got for my Switch. It was like $8 or something, and people were hyping it up. I think it was called like Infernum or Inferni or something. It's got a creepy red cloaked figure on it.
Inferno.
That was it. Okay, so you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
The game sucks ass, okay? I was so disappointed. I wanted my $8 back.
What's it about?
I don't know. Oh wait, I'm wrong. Because I looked it up because I couldn't get past a certain part. It is about the spiritual birth and reincarnation and a spirit's way through the underworld. And you don't get any of that in the game at all.
None.
Until you get to the ending cutscene where
Wow.
you're suddenly a baby being reborn, and then the game ends, and I'm like, what?
Wow, that's a waste of time.
Yeah, it's a waste of $8 whole. Don't get it.
Yeah. I got a question for everyone here. If you could have 2 superpowers,
oh god, here
what would they be? And how would you use them? Would you be a villain or a hero, in my opinion?
Again, we were talking about this before. What makes you a
one
villain
of
and what
mine
makes
would
you a
be-
hero?
I don't think he was here before.
I was not. I was downstairs helping my grandma.
I know one of mine would be teleportation.
And your second one?
I don't know yet.
I want to be
thought about
able.
it.
I want to be able to fly, even though I'm petrified of heights, because at least I know if I can fly, I'd be able just to save myself. And I think the other one would be to be able to walk through shadows. And the reason for not having like telepathy or mind reading is because I've seen enough stories and things to know that that's got to be hard to turn off, and that's got to suck.
Oh yeah.
Especially if you're like in a crowded room.
Yeah.
Boy, boy.
I would love to have.
Now, after a bit of thinking, after a bit of thinking, after
Tentacles.
after a bit of
Summon
Yes,
all the
yes, Christian.
after a bit of thinking, probably telekinesis.
All right, let's go next. All right, Sky, you go next. What are 2 superpowers?
She's
dead.
really quiet today.
Okay, Sky, we'll skip. How about Pyth? Pyth, you go.
Stop time.
And you get 2.
Stop time and be invisible.
Wow. Dangerous combo.
Yeah, you could be a total villain with those 2 powers.
Yeah,
Or cheat on tests.
that's true. Just stop time, look at the answers, and then wait. What was it? Okay, Gunmoon, your turn.
Oh, I guess the ability to always be able to pull a $1 bill out of my pocket.
Wait, what?
The ability to always be able to pull a $1 bill out of my pocket.
That is so oddly specific. That you know what that is? That right there, that's a My Hero Academia quirk. That would be like a really weird one.
But I would always have money.
Yeah, you always have $1.
Well, I could always keep pulling it out after dollars one another, like the scarves out of the mouth. Just keep pulling dollar bills out.
But I just like how specific. It has to be $1 bills. It can't be like a 20. It's gotta be a $1.
Of course, it's got to be a $1 bill. It's got to be useful, but also useless at the same time.
So here's the question then: if you put other money in your pockets, they just disappear because it's not a $1 bill.
No, it gets turned into ones.
That's terrible. Okay, well you get one more. What is your other one?
I still want to draw that now. Just
yeah, that's so funny. And the best
I
part
don't know
is
the
like
ability to always get like the perfect amount of sleep.
Oh my god. Okay, that's fair. The best part is if you do draw it, I don't think Gunmoon has a persona, so you'd have to draw her slime. just the slime in pants.
Yes. I want to see the slime in
Because I love Gunmoon's like mascot persona slime thing. I love it. I always have. That's because like I don't picture it looking like a person. It would just be the slime, but like with kind of just sad looking pants on its non-legs. kind of like the opposite of a snail. It's just on the ground though.
Or your turn.
Who else are you, girl? Jeez.
One of you guys is gonna draw that now. That's what this laugh is. I know. So I'm gonna like come back and the art chat's gonna have it.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So Angel, you're next, and then Aura, because you guys are together.
Ha! Fuck you.
First one would just be tentacles. I will not elaborate.
Okay.
Well then.
I'm not sure on the second one yet.
At least you be friends with Aki Dearest.
All right, Aura, your turn. Your 2 powers.
What's the limitation on the power?
I mean, fucking Gunmoon wants to be able to pull $1 out of their pants for the rest of time. I think it's kind of limitless.
Yeah.
I guess the first one would be an Omnimancer.
Nice.
I can cast all of the magic.
Hey, you got one more, dude. What you got left?
There's not much more you can do with that.
Dude, you can do like freeze time, go around someone, and throw a fireball at their butt. Then go right back where you were, and like it's time would just refree. Like you could go back to right where you were before your time froze. You can do a lot of stuff.
All the magic. What more do you need?
Oh, I know what my second one will be now.
What?
Shape-shifting.
I can do that already if I'm an Omnimancer.
Because I just want to be able to do cosplay. That is all.
That's fair.
With tentacles.
I just want to know what kind of tentacles. Because, like, do you want eyeball tentacles? Do you want knee tentacles? Is it, like, just normal ones? Or is it, like, just come out of your orifices? Like...
No.
It's hentai tentacles.
No.
So yeah, Aki Dearest would definitely want to get in on that.
Listen here, you bastard. You would too.
Listen, I'm an Omnimancer. I don't know what you're talking about.
Please. Be careful.
Okay. Ow, my foot! Oh!
What'd you do?
I ran over my foot on my chair.
How did you do that?
I don't think you understand. I don't think you understand my luck. I cut my elbow open, like hard open, in my shower, And then washing the dishes today, I cut my my second knuckle on somehow doing the dishes. Where I was
So we just need to wrap
You
your
fell down
bar
an
up.
up escalator.
Wait, what escalator? What?
That was only one time.
No, what happened to an escalator? I didn't hear all of that. I just heard something escalator.
We were climbing up the up escalator, just letting it through. She slipped, fell all the way down, and it was like pushing her up and down again and again into like three like.
Well, that was because my crutches were stuck in one little step.
Yeah, but a lot of people were busting a gut. Like it was like I had one of your crutches. You had one just for stability.
Oh God!
I fell back.
And you fall down the up escalator. Beautiful.
Well, this isn't really like a klutzy thing, it's just a traumatic thing. When I was really, really young, my cousins were assholes and liked to jump in elevators because of the fact that it makes it stop for a second. Actually, I think this is where my fear of heights came from. We were in one of those glass elevators, so you like see the outside, and so we were on like a really, really high floor. And my cousins did that, because I also did it with them, because it didn't scare me until this moment. And we ended up falling like 4 floors really fucking fast. Like, it fell. And then, like, the emergency brakes kicked in. And it's black. I didn't black out. I just literally don't remember what happened next. But then I remember being in my mom's car and screaming so hard that my voice was gone. And now that I think about it, I think that's where my fear of heights came from.
Yeah.
Because, like, I remember I used to not care about heights. Like, I used to be fine. And oddly enough, I'm fine with roller coasters. So, like, I can do a really high roller coaster with a really big drop. But if I'm, like, in a hotel room or... And it's not even that high off the ground. Like, technically, I live on a 2nd story. But if I look down my balcony, I start getting anxiety. Like, I start feeling my heart race and getting really nervous. And it's so bad to the point where I remember when I stayed at AX one year... we stayed in a really, really nice hotel, and I could not enjoy the view or the windows because looking down was so high that it made me pass out. Like, I fell on. I looked at it. I passed out. I woke up like 2 seconds later. Anna and everyone else freaked the hell out. And they were like, okay, we're just going to keep the windows closed when we're in the room. And I was like, I'm sorry, guys.
Wow.
And this is why. This is a weird fear of heights. Is whenever I see that stuff... It's not so much the height that freaks me out. This is really morbid.
Is it the sudden drop?
Yeah, it's the sudden drop. Like, I look down and I can see myself splatting, and I always have since I got scared of them. And I know it's really morbid, but it's always freaked me out. Like, it's never like, oh, that's interesting. It's like, okay, I need to back away from the ledge now.
You find my fear of Daddy Longlegs weird.
Dude, her fear is reasonable. Your fear of Daddy Longlegs is unreasonable.
Dude, I was locked in a basement with just Daddy Longlegs.
Why were you locked in a basement? Wait, what?
You would not like.
Like, would anyone be scared of spiders after that? I think they would.
Yeah, they would. But still, like, they're harmless. If you had
Dude, I
don't know, I wasn't.
No, I was locked in the basement with one window, man. It was.
Yeah, she got stuck in the basement for like 3 hours. She was a kid.
No.
Oh my God, Leah. Well, here's one that someone said in the chat. I'm afraid of pool drain cleaners because I'm worried my breast could get stuck in it.
Well,
that is a very specific fear.
Yeah.
Like, that is an oddly specific fear.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not as weird. What was it? I have a friend. Fuck it. What was it? Oh, she's scared of eye floaters.
Eye floaters?
You know, You know those
It's just like that little wiggle.
Yeah, like whenever that would happen, because it wouldn't happen a lot, she would full on freak the hell out. I remember it happened in high school, where we were eating lunch and everything was fine, and then she kind of just stared off into space, started screaming bloody murder. I remember we all thought she got stung by a bee or something, because my school had a bad bee problem. And then she was just like, okay, it's gone. And we were like, what? She's like, I can't stand eye floaters. It makes me think that I'm going blind. And we were like, what? So every time she'd get an eye floater, she would full on have like a full on panic attack.
Dang.
Oh, no.
That's just so weird.
I guess I kind of get it.
She would get out of my eyes then, because I have a lot of them, and you can never not see them.
I don't usually get eye floaters. What freaks me out is when I sneeze so hard, I see little metal dots flying around, and I'm like, oh, I'm low on iron. Or I need water. Sky, you're the nurse. What does that mean? Sky?
Oh.
Oh, right, you're tired. I'm sorry.
I'm trying to think. Give me a second. It's hard.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
Speaking of nurses and stuff, I still need to go to the dentist.
Go to the dentist. I need to go to the dentist too.
Well, I broke my back right wisdom tooth.
Ooh. Oh, ew.
Wait, you never got that? You never got that fixed? That can lead into sepsis, dude.
That was like a month ago.
Dude, that can lead into sepsis if you have a tooth break off in your jaw. That's bad.
You don't want to get your mouth infected. It's the worst. You'll get pus in it. It's the worst.
Probably. Who goes there? Thus be the feathered one.
What?
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 You're also that was a crow, remember?
What? I'm so confused.
You have significantly less feathers than I do.
What?
My roommate just got home from work.
Does he have a pet crow?
This
This is hard to explain.
What?
Is he a furry?
A furry?
Yeah, bird furries exist.
I'm here.
No, I know that. Just
not even like
How
furry.
do
No,
you
I'm just
do
the
it
actual
against
fucking
me?
bird. No, it's not like it's not that they're furry. No, they're just an actual crow.
What?
Don't question it.
Moving away from this topic.
Okay, so, oh, crap, I didn't realize. Okay, we're at the 2-hour mark, so let's do it 10 minutes so we can do a wrap-up, so I'm not just like, okay, 2 hours, bye! Let's see. Let's see, what were we talking about before? Oh, here's a good one. Alright, let's go about childhood fears, because we were talking about that earlier. Yep. So I shared one. Vampire Neko Witch shared one. Yeah. Let's go on. So who else has a traumatizing fear that you had as a child that didn't really make much sense?
Dolls for me. Pretty much like those inanimate, creepy, like those porcelain dolls.
Like Annabelle, Chucky.
Okay, the problem with Annabelle, because I love the Annabelle movies, is I'm like, you made the doll ugly as shit. No one's gonna want that doll, okay? Like, it would have been creepier if she didn't look like an evil doll. If you made her look like a cute ooh-woo doll, I think it would have been a lot creepier. Because the actual doll's a Raggedy Ann.
Yeah. Raggedy, that was my fear when I was a child. It was specifically that Raggedy Ann doll my grandmother had. I thought it was haunted.
Yeah, I could see that.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so I've got a weird fear. Just because, I know it's back on me, but I think it's funny, because I had to do this when I was a teacher's aide. So, Elf on a Shelf came out when I was a teacher's aide.
Oh, no.
And we had one for the students. I fucking hate Elf on a Shelf. And there was a video I saw, like, on Facebook that, like, gave my fear rationality. Because the whole point of Elf on a Shelf, sorry for young people listening if for some weird reason you're listening to this and you believe in Elf on a Shelf. The whole point is that you're supposed to, like, move the elf around when no one is looking to show that the elf is alive and it's a reporter to Santa. Like, that's the point, what you're supposed to do. So, you know, your kid will be like, oh, elf, you know, the elf's on the bookshelf. And they'll come home the next day and like, oh, the elf's on the TV or whatever, because he's supposed to be watching your kid to report back to Santa like some Skynet shit. So, I remember learning about that. And I'm like, that's really creepy. Like, that's really fucking creepy. And so there was a video I saw where it was, let me see if I can find it, because it was really quick. I think it was like a Vine or something, but like...
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Let me see. I'm trying to, because I don't remember what it was called. It was like really, really fucking short.
Although, I do have a fear now that is slightly irrational.
Oh! I think I found it. Yeah?
Which would be the simple factor of... I can't have phones above me anymore.
You're welcome.
Oh, did it hit your face?
Yeah, twice.
I have nailed Angel between the eyes twice. Once with my own phone and once with her phone.
Oh god. Okay, so I sent the video to the Discord chat. People on YouTube, I'll play it. It is a 6-second video, so it is really fucking fast. But this is like the reason why I think Elf on a Shelf is so fucking creepy.
I love this.
I love this Vine.
Oh, fuck that.
What? I'll play it again. Just watch real quick, and it's like, huh? Like, yeah, that's creepy as shit. I don't like that. I don't like anything about that. Because that's just how I see it. It's like really weird and subtle, and the fact that it looks super cute does not help its fucking case.
Oh, my little cousin currently has the reindeer now with the elf.
Oh yeah, I forgot they have like a reindeer with it too. I think that's creepy. And as a kid, even though I liked creepy stuff, that would have terrified me. If I came home and Elf on a Shelf was like somewhere else and my parents were like, because the whole point is the parents are supposed to, you know, be in on it. Like, oh my god, look where Elf went now. And it's like, what the fuck?
Oh no.
Yeah, see, exactly. It's creepy as hell.
Oh yeah. How creepy would it have been if it like suddenly just showed up in your room when you were sleeping?
No, because I have heard of parents doing that. So they'll do that so when the kid wakes up, it's there. And I'm like, that's really creepy. I don't like that.
I think I would just burn my house down if that happened.
Like, no.
I had never heard of those.
They're new. Like I said, they came out the year I was a teacher's aide, so they came out like right around end of 2011, early 2012. And then they've been popular ever since. And I will admit, I do think it's really neat that they have different ethnicities of Elf on a Shelf. Like when I worked at Target, they had literally one of like every single race. You could have an Asian elf on a shelf, a mixed race elf on a shelf, a black or Mexican elf on a shelf. So it wasn't just white version. They also had a female version of Elf on a Shelf that also came in every ethnicity. And I thought that was neat. Like I think that's just a neat little thing. So that way it's like, you know, you could get an elf for your family.
It's okay, sure.
Are you guys showing people the Elf on a Shelf video? What?
Oh god, I'm a horrible person.
Yes, you are.
Oh god.
Whew, okay, but yeah, just that whole idea freaks me out. I don't like it. And I think what makes it so creepy is the fact that Elf on a Shelf looks really cute. Like, again, if I came home and it was just there staring at me, I'd be like,
fuck this shit.
Yeah, I'd be like, oh hell no. You're going in the oven.
You're about to be destroyed by fire.
Oh my god! Breathe!
Jesus fucking Christ.
But there you go. So I am not scared of Elf on a Shelf. If people are like, oh, she's scared of him. I'm scared of the concept. But I will admit, if I came home and there was an Elf on a Shelf in my house, and like Cody didn't buy it, I would probably throw it off my porch and hope it lands in the other complex.
Oh, I just had a really mean idea go in my head.
Oh boy.
That just makes me think of the. Have you seen the one post with like the stick Jesus or whatever, and like they kept moving the stick Jesus around?
No, I've never heard of Stick Jesus.
There's like this person made a post about how like they made their grandma like this really like when they were a kid like a stick Jesus or whatever. Like it was just kind of like a stick, and it like had the Jesus like hair and like the wig. And then the grandma was too polite to like say they didn't want it, so it just kept getting moved around and back in their room.
That's awful. What the hell?
Why? Why would you do that to a kid?
I don't know. That's just really
I would just tell the kid I don't like it.
Yeah.
Like,
Oof. All right, guys. Okay, I have to end it here. So this was really fun. I'm happy we had fun, and next month I'll make sure to actually plan out so I can have 2 talks and not wait till the second to last day.
I don't think we've had that much fun since we added the curse corner.
That is true. That is true. But that entire chat was just putting shit in the cursed corner.
Which I missed out on.
It was great.
But you can be a part of Cursed Corner now. It's still in the Patreon chat.
Yep.
All right.
I know, but still.
No, I understand. All right. So again, thank you guys so much for being my amazing patrons. Thank you guys on YouTube for watching and supporting. I love you all. Thank you. And as always, I'll see you next time. Bye.